Hi everyone, welcome to week 10. I hope you've had a good week. And first of all, no baby, we're still waiting. Got about 2 weeks to go, so probably will be another 2 weeks, but that's okay. We're trying to be patient around here. I wanted to touch base and see how everyone was doing. I hope you had a good week. And as we think about week 10, I have posted some information on D2L, so I encourage you to read through that. And I wanted just to highlight a few things in that posting. First of all, obviously, coming up this Sunday night is when your checkpoint number 3 for your STEM PBL unit design project is due. So for that, remember you are turning in the project design overview planning form and the student learning guide that is highlighted in blue. So that's going to be a lot of the work in regards to the culminating products of your unit design project, as well as the rubrics and any associated ways that you're going to be assessing student learning. I encourage you to make any changes you'd like to based on feedback from checkpoints 1 and 2 as well when you turn that in. And just be sure, like I've said before, to turn in any associated rubrics that's not part of the planning forms that you're going to be using to grade your student work in that PBL unit design project. So that'll be due for Sunday. And then looking ahead, you've got checkpoint number 4 coming up. So for this week, one of the things I'd like for you to be doing is kind of preparing for that checkpoint. For that checkpoint, you're going to be kind of stepping backwards as you've read about in your textbook. The encouragement when you're designing a PBL unit is to start at the end, start at your culminating products and your assessment and your standards and what skills you want your students to learn, and then kind of go backwards in your planning process. So for this next checkpoint, number 4, you are going to be thinking about your entry event or your project launch, as well as what your daily teaching and learning tasks are going to look like. Those are the tasks that you'll be doing in between the project launch and then the culminating product. So it's what happens in the bulk of the unit in between. And those tasks can be all sorts of different formats. You may have a day where you realize you just need to lecture. You need to teach the students some things that they need to know in order to progress forward in the unit. That's okay. You may have a day where the students are just working on culminating products all day. You may have a day where students are doing some research on their end to be able to create those culminating products. So those daily teaching and learning tasks are going to look different for each day depending on what you think your students are going to need to know. And I would encourage you to go back to the need to know list, hopefully that you've kind of developed in thinking through this unit. What are the things the students need to know in order to successfully be able to complete this unit design project? And then go back to those and think about how you're going to fit those need to know items into your daily teaching and learning tasks. So you're going to be working on your project launch or your entry event. You're going to be working on your daily teaching and learning tasks. And then you're going to be developing your project calendar, which will go along with those daily teaching and learning tasks as well. So ultimately, you've got some time before this next checkpoint is due. But I've encouraged you, if you read through the learning guide that I posted for week 10, I've directed you to some pages in your textbook that I think will be helpful for you as you think about these next parts of your unit design project. So I encourage you to read through those pages as you start to kind of develop this next part. So like I said, I think it's about 3 weeks before this next part is due. So you do have some time to get it done. But I would encourage you, obviously, to start working on it ahead of time and let me know if you have any questions and things that I can help you with as you work on it. And then looking ahead, pretty much the last checkpoint will be checkpoint number 5, which is where you're kind of putting the finishing touches on everything and then turning it in. So you really don't have too much left. So hang in there. You're getting there. I also wanted to direct you to this week's materials and resources submodule. I found some sample project design overview forms from the Buck Institute for Education, as well as some sample student learning guides that you're filling out right now. And so I posted a copy of that. I think it's maybe from a 5th grade unit. But basically, I just posted it as a way to help you kind of get a sense of maybe how to fill out those forms, what goes in each section. Maybe get some ideas as you look at how another teacher filled out a form. It might give you some ideas for filling out your own. So look in the Week 10 module, under Module 2, Week 10, and then look at the Materials and Resources submodule. And like I said, there's a PDF there that I think will be helpful just as you proceed forward through checkpoints 3, 4, and 5 and finish up this design. Because some of you have been asking me about just some questions about what goes in this section, how should I fill this out. That student learning guide for some of you has been a little bit confusing to figure out what goes in that. So I thought that might be helpful for you as you work towards this Sunday and then work towards your future checkpoints as well. Finally, the one assignment I would like for you to do for this week, so due next Sunday, is I would like for you to email me just a short, maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs text document that explains where you are in terms of your STEM stamp project. Remember, that's the ongoing project that you're doing all semester. Beginning of the semester, most of you posted onto the D2L discussion board in regards to what your plans were for that project. So I kind of want to know at this point where you are in that project. Again, in the learning guide, I've posted some more information to remind you of the details of that project, but essentially you're going to be completing 2 parts to this project. One is a short narrative that explains to me what you're going to do, what audience you're going to impact or hope to impact through your STEM stamp project. And then after the implementation, so you submit that to me before implementation. And then after implementation, you submit to me a short video summary of what happened in the implementation process for your project, how the audience was in fact impacted, if at all. It's okay if it wasn't, if it totally flopped, we learn from that too. And then any plans for future implementations and or future revisions of the project to further impact your community and your local school with your STEM stamp project. So what I would like for you from this week is just simply just a short description, a couple of paragraphs. Where are you in that process? Have you thought about the implementation process yet? Are you ready to implement? If you are ready to implement, then you can go ahead and use this week's email to me as your narrative summary and go ahead and submit that to me, and I'll get any feedback to you and you can go ahead and implement. But if you're not there yet, that's fine too. I just want to know kind of what your thought processes are and what you've done in this project up to this point. So if you can get that to me by next Sunday, get your checkpoint number 3 turned in by this Sunday. I'll work on grading those and getting feedback to you on those early next week. And then we'll just keep moving forward. So if you have any questions, as always, please let me know. Again, you all are doing some amazing work, and it just is very exciting to see what work you're coming up with and ideas and so forth. If there's anything I can do to help or anything I can do to help facilitate more communication between each other, I would certainly be glad to do that. So just let me know what I can do. I'm here to help, and I hope you have a great week. And if you have spring break next week, then enjoy that time. If not, then keep going. Yours is coming soon. And we'll talk to you again next week.